I've used this lens on basically every portrait shoot this year to get the results that you can see on screen right now. It's safe to say it has definitely served me well, but it has just one major issue. Stick around to find out.
Hello, fly chick coming through. Nice to meet you, glad you came through. Like your style and you know you got moves. You spit game and you know you.
Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to G to Joe. Today guys, we'll be discussing my favourite budget portrait lens of 2024. Well, kind of, okay. But before we start guys, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Joe, of course. I'm a professional portrait photographer looking to help other portrait photographers like yourself not only improve, but start to make work that actually stands out to the rest of the competition and land more clients. So if that seems interesting to you guys, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And once I've gained your trust and you want more personal advice beyond these YouTube videos, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program where I will personally go on calls with you and I'll give you personal advice that is tailored to your portrait work so you can start accelerating your portrait photography progress now rather than later. So again guys, if that's interesting to you, top links in the description so you can check it out, learn more. Okay, so what is that lens? You want to know what that lens is, right? Sorry guys, teasing you for a bit too long. It is the... Okay guys, I'm joking. It is the Canon RF 85mm f2 image stabilization STM or whatever it is, right? So this lens right here, if you hopefully it's focusing on it, this lens right here, I'll probably put up on the screen if it doesn't focus on it. Okay, so where do I start about this lens? Well, in this video, I want to mainly talk about the focal length of 85mm rather than the lens itself. Obviously, I'll talk about this lens because it's obviously a review on the Canon RF 85mm, but I want to mainly talk about the focal length of 85mm because this lens, there isn't much wrong with it to me for you to like decide which 85mm you should get. Most 85mm lenses are quite similar. Okay, so in terms of autofocusing, I haven't really had much trouble with autofocusing on my models, right? I feel like it's quite sharp, it's fast, it's precise, and it can actually detect faces and eyes even from really far away. About a month or so back when the weather was actually warm and nice, I did a photo shoot with my friend in the woods and I was using this 85mm and I was shooting quite far back, but despite the fact that I was shooting quite wide shots, it had really no issues with detecting his face, especially compared to the Sigma 50mm that I had at the time, which I'd occasionally switch to throughout the photo shoot, and that lens just couldn't fucking find him at all. It was struggling so much to find the face, but with the 85mm, it had no issues at all. Okay, what the fuck is going on? But overall, it's a very nice lens. It has no signs of fringing or any issues with that, like chromatic aberrations or anything like that. But overall, a good 85mm lens, especially for its price point. It only run you around £500 to £600, depending on where you find it. You could find cheaper if you find a good deal on eBay or something. But yeah, I think like for an RF lens, for a Canon RF lens, that is a really good fucking deal if you ask me, especially when you know how expensive Canon RF lenses can be. But guys, there is one issue with this lens which can create a lot of annoying situations, and that is the autofocusing. I know guys, you're probably asking, did you just say that autofocusing was good? Well, it is for the most part, but when you want to focus from something from quite far away or from something really close to something really far away, the focus motors are just so fucking slow for some reason. Okay, let's say I'm focusing from something from 1 feet away, right? Let's say I'm focusing on my camera here, I'm focusing on this camera here. It's not really 1 feet, it's a couple feet, but yeah. Then I try to focus from something to the sky or to like a massive tree over there, right? It will take so long to like, get to that focus point for some reason. And even if you manual focus it and you start moving the focus ring by yourself, it will probably take longer than that. Because for some reason, again, the focus ring, it's ridiculously long and it's too much. I don't know what it is, it's the threading inside of it or something like that, but the motors are just so fucking slow. But really guys, as I'm reviewing this as a portrait photographer, not like an event photographer, wedding photographer or anything like that, it isn't really much of a deal for me because if this happens on my portrait shoots, I just have to wait and be patient, right? Like I'm in a controlled environment where we're working at our own pace. So if that ever happens, where it's like taking long to focus, it really isn't a big deal. I'll just wait. But again, if you're doing like event photography or weddings or something like that, where you have to capture a certain moment at a given time, that can be very annoying. But again, guys, if you're watching this video, you should be a portrait photographer and not talking about events and stuff like that. So let's not talk about that. But don't worry guys, right? It won't just happen out of nowhere. For example, like it's not gonna just like randomly start like taking the piss of the focusing, right? It only really happens when it's like too dark and it can't really find a subject, or it gets confused where you want the focus to be. Okay, so now I want to discuss 85mm as a focal length in general in portrait photography. For years, guys, especially on YouTube, 85mm has been considered the perfect portrait lens because it makes the model look most flattering, and it's wide enough to get those wider shots. So it'd be a no-brainer to get this lens, especially as a portrait photographer. I actually don't think so. Guys, like I preach on this channel all the time, it's not just about how am I going to get the most sexy and flattering look on my model, or how am I going to get photos that other people want to see. No, it's about taking photos that tell the story that you want to tell. So if you're going for that more chaotic and crazy look in your photos, an 85mm is probably not the best option for you, nor the most ideal, because of the lens compression. The lens compression will create that more calm and relaxed look. But a wider lens like a 24mm or a 35mm will enhance that crazy look. There's no such thing as the perfect portrait lens. There's the perfect portrait lens for your portrait photography and for your style, but there isn't a general overall perfect portrait lens. Think about the story you want to tell in your photos and what style you want to go for before you decide to buy a lens. Don't just buy an 85mm because people like me on YouTube are telling you that it's the perfect portrait lens or it's really good. And if you're struggling with finding out what focal length you should use in your portrait photography, I actually have a full video, which I'll put up here, where I literally will guide you through that issue. For me personally, for my work and my style, an 85mm is probably the perfect lens for me because I like that more relaxed, calm and surreal look in my photos, especially for going wide. I can get wide shots and still get a lot of background compression and bokeh in my photos, which creates this very unique and almost medium format look in my photos. And when I'm in the studio, I pair this lens with my 24-70 and switch to the 85mm when I want to get those mid and close-up shots, as I want to get the most flattering look on my model. But again, guys, you may not like that most flattering look on your model. It's up to you. If you like that more chaotic and crazy look, and you like the way faces distort when you use wider lenses when you get closer up, use wider lenses. I'm just telling you what I like. This video is about why I think this focal length and this lens is good for my work, not yours. But again, guys, if your style kind of fits my style, 85mm may be a great option for you. Overall, a great focal length and a great general portrait budget lens to own. I would 100% recommend getting this if you're a Canon user. Anyway, guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Guys, comment down below. Let me know in the comments below what focal length you guys like to use, or if you have any questions regarding what focal lengths that you should use. I may give you some suggestions. Probably not specific lenses, because I don't really use that many lenses, guys. I mainly use Canon stuff. I don't really use other, so I've used Sigma a little bit. I'm not really the person to like tell you what gear you should use, really. I could give you some estimates, but I can't really give you, I'll give you suggestions, but I can't really give you like you should get this lens, you know what I mean, that type of stuff like that. And if you want more personal and in-depth advice, again, guys, like I said in my intro, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program, where we will discuss all these things. If you want to learn more about what focal length you should use, what color grading, about your posing, anything to do with portrait photography, again, guys, top links in the description. You can check it out and learn more. Also, if you want to learn more about lighting your model, and more specifically studio lighting in the studio and lighting your model, links below is my lighting course, my portrait photography lighting course, where I will go over all the basics of lighting. So I will go over lighting techniques, strobes versus continuous, color temperature, everything to do with your lighting basically, right? So if you want to learn more about lighting and you don't really know anything about lighting right now, links below is where you can check it out and learn more. And if you're struggling with the basics of your camera, so like shutter speed, aperture, ISO, and want to start shooting fully manual, guys, links below is my free exposure triangle guide video course, where I will go over the basics of your camera. So I will go over aperture, ISO, shutter speed, all that type of stuff. I'll go over how you can approach the settings as well, all this kind of fun stuff. So if you want this guide, all you need to do is click my link below, which is my website, scroll down a bit, see this little block, put your name, email address in, click get your guide, and I'll send you that guide for free. Anyway, guys, that is it. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.